And I forgot to start the recording. So welcome to JK's Deal Reveal. I just finished explaining for those who are listening to the recording that I'm on a cruise ship that is 25% longer than the Titanic. We've been here for the last 5 days, and we are landing back on Long Beach, California on Saturday and returning to Canada. So today's deal reveal is going to be hot temperature themed. We have a deal reveal from our southern neighbors in Florida today. So if this is the first time that you're joining us for a deal reveal, well, you're in luck, because we're excited to show you how you can analyze deals lightning fast in markets where you could see numbers 4 times better than what you can find in Canada in terms of cash flow, in terms of buying properties at a discount, not being stuck in bidding wars to buy excellent investment properties. So today's deal was submitted by James. So thank you, James. And we're going to go to Florida, Davenport, Florida, where we have a property asking $535,000. And we're going to see if this is a deal or no deal for you. So let us get started. Whoop. So I'm not going to stop my share like I did last time. So we are going to go with our address and just check the general area, see what's happening in that neck of the woods. So we like to go to Trulia for this. Now, if you're buying a property for $500,000 or higher, I would hope the crime isn't too high. But you see here, this is an 8-bedroom, 5-bath property. It is a single family home with 2-car garage and fully furnished, etc., in a gated community in Champions Gate, luxurious all throughout. And this property was actually purchased in April of this year for that $535,000. And I don't have all the details about the property, but what I understand from it is that it was just about, we got doors creaking. It was just about ready to go if it were to be a long-term rental, but this is not a long-term rental situation. This was a short-term rental property. So this being so close to Disney, there is potentially a short-term rental potential for this location and this type of property. Very large number of bedrooms and baths. $535,000. You'll probably want to add in another $150,000 in renovations and really going above and beyond to make this a short-term rental gem. So we came here to Trulia. I talked a little bit, but we came here just to get a sense for the area. But as you saw, it's in a gated community right out the gate. So a very unlikely we're going to see some colors here, but I'm going to go look at the crime map in Trulia, so you know that wherever you are in the US looking, you can get a sense of what's happening. And again, forgive my satellite internet here, but see, there's a little bit of crime happening right down here, but as you can see in general and on this particular street and gated community, we are far from being in a crime center. So crime, I think we're good on that. Next is, we can look at a property from a long-term rental perspective or a short-term rental perspective, because if you have a single family home like this, you could go to Rental Meter and check out what the long-term rent potential would be. So let's see if we can get through this fast enough for you here. So I can just plop in the address in here, and obviously I'm in the 8 bedrooms category, so it doesn't even go up. This is a very unique property, and that it's going to be very difficult to run some specific comps right outright, but you can see here that on average we're at about 3,000, and even if you were to go above and beyond, maybe 3,500, maybe $4,000 a month in rent if it were a long-term rentals. So very interesting, but keep in mind you're buying it for $500,000. So let's say you bought it for that $535,000 and you got $3,500 a month. Okay, so we could very well do our long-term approximation numbers. We'll split the gross in half, our 50% expense ratio trick, just to get a sense of what's happening here. So 21,000 net a year before mortgage. So we're calculating a cap rate here. And if you were to buy this for 535,000, you're only at about a 4 cap, right? Which is fairly standard for the Florida market. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. So long-term, maybe that's not the type of returns you're looking for in terms of cash flow, and maybe rightfully so. That's fine. So we're looking at the cash flow side, maybe not so hot, but keep in mind we're also buying a residential property. And so the two golden rules of real estate: one, you want to buy some cash flow, and two, you want to buy a property at a discount. Okay, so thankfully here we have our total view real estate that's pulling our Zestimate comps and the total view algorithm comps here, that it's saying it's probably worth somewhere between $630,000 and $662,000. Wonderful. So if you were able to buy it for $535,000 and not need all that much work to it, well, it looks like you're buying at a discount here, even though it's so much more expensive than what we might see in the Midwest. You are still buying at a discount, which has some built-in equity, built-in buffer should the market change, right? Should there be any fluctuation in market values of properties, because we know that most markets have been very, very bullish. And are we in a bubble right now? Well, they can only keep going up this fast for so long. So what's going to happen next? Not too sure. So at least buying it at a discount here, provided that there's not over $120,000 in renovations, well, we're buying at a discount, which is wonderful. And then it's a matter of, is the cash flow good enough for you? So, so from this information here, is this a deal or no deal for you? So we have a Floridian property that we're buying just over $500,000. It's worth over 600. It looks like we're buying at a discount, and we have about a 4 cap. So is this a deal or no deal in these last couple of minutes here looking at this property? Is this something that you'd be willing to put an offer in and start your relationship building? Right? So I'll let you ponder that. But I mentioned, yes, Maryse would like to see what the STR revenues are. Yes, hey, Trina as well. We want to see the AirDNA results. Absolutely. Now, unfortunately, because I'm on satellite, my AirDNA login profile isn't working right now. But I'm going to go off the information that James gave me when he submitted the deal. And he says with short-term rentals, the comparables based on this, this type of property in this area could be as high as $200,000 a year in gross income. But keep in mind, we're doing short-term rentals here, so gross does not equal net, far from it. Surprisingly, the expense ratio ends up being fairly similar when you're doing short-term, because you have cleanings to pay, you have to pay all the utilities, your insurance is going to be higher. There's management costs that are typically much higher than the 10%. It could be easily 15, 20, 25, 30. Some people even go up to 50% management. And if the numbers work, well, they work or they don't. But anyways, normally speaking, a 50% expense ratio in the short-term rental space is very, very possible here. And so 200,000 gross, let's be a little bit more conservative, because it's probably between 150 and 200. Again, I don't have the AirDNA to say exactly what it is, so let's be more conservative. Let's say we're in the 175 range, 175 gross, and we'll take 50% again. So that's what's really interesting with residential properties. Even if you use the long-term numbers with long-term rental rates, or you take the short-term, the expense ratio of 50% is pretty accurate, all things considered. So we'd go from a 21,000 4 cap, right? $21,000 a year net at a 4 cap, suddenly having a potential of 87,000. What cap rate would that be? Now, keep in mind, though, this is now a short-term rental property. And if you're going to want to bring 200,000 a year or 175,000 a year, it better be a gorgeous property This is a property that has the plan of making a themed property like Toy Story, right? Buzz Lightyear and Woody, an Avengers, a Spider-Man, whatever you want, a themed short-term rental near Disney to really go get those top of the market short-term rental rates. And then with 8 bedrooms, you can easily have 2 families, maybe even 3 families, split the cost, and it becomes a wonderful experience for everyone who's joining in on that. So 87,000. The reason I'm saying this is because you don't just buy it for 535,000. You'll have to do a whole bunch of upgrades. You'll have to, make it maybe a themed rental and so forth. So adding an extra $150,000 to make that happen is not a stretch. Okay. So yes, you might be making 87.5, but from your 535,000, let's add another 150,000. So really, this project is almost a $750,000 project. $685,000 to make this whole project happen, and we said that we were at 87.5. So 87.5 divided by 675, I believe, was the number we had. So now this property is a 13 cap in Florida, thanks to short-term rentals. Keep in mind, right? I highly, highly recommend you still follow the 2 golden rules of real estate. You buy at a discount and you buy cash flow. So now that we're looking at short-term rental numbers, a 13 cap in Florida is starting to be really, really exciting. So I think cash flow is there, fantastic. And then are we buying it at a discount, right? So if we're in it for 675,000 and it's worth 662,000, are we buying it at a discount? Well, I'm going to say yes, you still are, because a lot of not a lot, but there's a good chunk of capital that you put in to get that ready that was above and beyond an average renovation. And for example, all the furniture that you're going to put in there to furnish an 8-bedroom, 5-bathroom property, well, there's a lot in there that doesn't, it's not justified in normal comps, because these are comps that are not typically furnished, don't go over and beyond. So when you're furnishing a property, when you're going above and beyond like this, I like to consider it separate from the real estate's value. The furniture and so forth is separate. So I would say if you're buying this for 675,000 all in, there is probably right around market value or a slight discount at purchase, and at a 13 cap, looks like we have some cash flow going for us there. Now, obviously, these are big numbers, and I'm looking at it quickly. So this is just to get an idea, a good idea of what's happening up front, so you know where the numbers are falling when you're entering into your negotiations. So given this, is this a property that you'd be interested in? Does this have a potential for a deal or no deal for you? So let's hear it. Yes. Yes, Maryse, that's obviously an excellent point, that a high cap rate is wonderful so long as you have a great team on the ground to manage it, 100%. And I will say that it's been it's been about a year now that JK's real estate partners, well, we have other companies as well, including STR properties, so we can manage short-term rentals as well anywhere in Canada and the US. So the team on the ground is a very important component, and we're looking to help you achieve your ideal investment properties, whether they be in the Midwest or in Florida as well. So absolutely, over time, equity will grow and the costs will go down on these specialty properties. So that's beautiful. Big money's coming into these things. And even during COVID, Disney did shut down for a while, but Florida is a worldwide destination for tourism. And there's a huge influx of population in Florida, making them all very attractive assets for an investor. Beautiful. So that's basically what I want to see. So deal or no deal, right? These are big numbers. Maybe we're a little bit more afraid to pronounce ourselves here. And yes, Nile, sorry if I butchered your name here. There are mortgages available for Canadian residents who want to invest in the US. That's exactly one of the cornerstones that we help you achieve as well as Canadians wanting to invest in the deal. So we got a deal. Marie says it's a deal. Anybody else? Yes, we have a deal. We have a couple of deals. You're welcome. You're welcome. So that was today's deal reveal. I think this definitely does have some potential. We would just need to get a better idea on the value of this property after those renovations are done. Is that 661,000 right on the mark? Or after we put in 150,000, is it really more close to 800,000, 900,000, the value of this property? You know, what would an appraiser, a third-party objective appraiser, tell you this property is worth? And basically, what would the banks allow you to finance or refinance this property for? Because cash flow is looking good based on these numbers. And can we get all of our money back quickly from this type of a deal? So this and much, much more is what we cover in our blueprint, which is coming up at the end of October. So if you've never attended our blueprint, highly recommend you do this if you're interested in US investing and you want to make sure you're having the solid foundation on which to grow from. Also want to let you know that JK's Entrepreneurship, our morning mastermind, our morning wake-up call, is going strong. And us being on this cruise is just research and development for this entrepreneurship. We want to bring you once a year somewhere in the world, and that's our entrepreneurship members who get to benefit from this experience with us. So very, very exciting. So if you're interested in the mastermind at all, to take a look at it, we've just increased our prices. People who were in the mastermind from before, they had significantly reduced rates, but nonetheless, the value is tremendous. The people who have started investing, who started their businesses, who've quit their jobs, all because of our morning mastermind. It is next level. So if you're interested in that, n4t.club/mastermind is where it happens every morning at 6 a.m. Eastern or 3 a.m. Pacific time, like it's been for the last 2 weeks for us. So all part of the Now for Tomorrow Club. Our next, forget the date's wrong here, but our next training, all of next week and the next couple of weeks, there's going to be opportunity presentations inviting you to our blueprint event, which only happens once or twice a year. And so it's coming up next month. So if that's of interest to you, stay on this channel and come listen to the incredible opportunities that the US has to offer us Canadians. And lastly, I wanted to make a little announcement while my internet is being super slow here. In the past months, I've been talking about our upcoming program, the Guarantee Program, where we can help you invest in properties. We manage it for you. We guarantee a return. So anything above a 7% you make, but we're going to manage your property short term, and you can take advantage of property ownership and a baseline return, where if that return is not satisfied, we are going to buy back the properties from you. So that's pretty interesting. Now, we are also thinking about developing a version 2 for Florida properties, specifically Florida properties in proximity to Disney and those high tourist areas. Let me know what you think. We're open to feedback. It's similar to the Guarantee Program, but rather than ownership of the property, you would get a guarantee return and a certain amount of time in the properties for you, your family, and your loved ones. So imagine investing in a property and getting a certain return on that property, on that investment, and you get benefits of using the property a week a year, 2 weeks a year to go to Disney. So let me know if that would be a guarantee program that would be of interest to you over the next months and years. Throwing it out there, doing a little bit of reconnaissance. And so let us know if that is the type of guarantee you're looking for. So on that note, hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Go get those deals. There are still deals out there. And anybody who's interested in the deal that we just presented here or other deals or the guarantee version Midwest or version Florida, you let us know. We'll add you on the wait list and we can all get our miracles together. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you at 8 if you're part of the Premium Mastery call. Otherwise, we'll see you next Thursday or in the morning mastermind call. Take care, everyone. If you have a deal that you'd like me to review, just submit it to our website or by email. And thank you, Maryse. We will 100% enjoy the cruise, and take care. The outro video doesn't seem to work. So ciao, everyone.